Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister.
That's your fake voice. You told me
You don't even know what I'm about to say.
You told me I
I'm
need
about to say
super-
something that fits perfectly with my fake voice.
Okay,
So shut up.
Sorry, good.
Hello and welcome to Not Without My Sister, a weekly discussion salon between myself, Rosemary McCabe, and my sister, Beatrice McCabe. A conversation that you can eavesdrop on where we cover such topics as pop culture, dating, embarrassing childhood incidents, pets, family, love, romance, and so on. Thank you all so much for joining us. Don't like that? You look really shocked.
I was like, wait, okay.
I'm trying to be very zen now.
Okay.
I was just listening to a podcast by Otega Uagba called In Good Company, where she interviews, what did she call them today? Crucial voices in the cultural sphere or something. And one of them was Pandora Sykes. And I was just like, I don't think she's a crucial voice in the cultural sphere, but that might be just me being a bitch because I got so sick of the high-low after like
Each to
12
their
million
own. I mean,
episodes.
she probably thinks she's a cult. She probably considers herself to be a critical.
Do you consider
cultural
yourself
sphere.
to be a critical cultural voice?
I consider myself to be rather spherical, certainly, after this past year. But I don't know how critical I would find myself. You said a critical cultural sphere. Critical in the cultural sphere.
voice.
In the cultural sphere.
Oh, okay. You consider yourself to be a cultural sphere.
That's correct.
Today, speaking of salons, we decided to talk about the compromises one must make when cohabiting in terms of decor. But actually, you know what? Before we start, is this a compromise you need to make with a housemate, or is it only if you're going out with the person? You know what I mean?
I think it's only if you're going out with, I think it's only if you're actually like combining the household. Because if you're a housemate, you're also thinking this is temporary and I have my bedroom and you have your bedroom.
Yeah, but you have shared spaces.
Yes, but in that you kind of are never super happy with it, and you, I think, resign yourself to this is life, right?
Yeah, I have to put up with that person's painting that I don't like.
Whereas the minute you're like actually living with them, as in this is forever, you're thinking, how can I erase all of their taste from this space?
Or I mean, that's a bit mean. Or like, how can I just push their space into the basement?
Well, Don's space is in the basement and everywhere else.
I was about to say Don's space is like Alex Mack. Do you remember that show?
No.
Where she used to be able to turn into liquid and go under doors. That's what's happening in Don's space. Turning into liquid and coming upstairs and going under doors.
Well, in fairness to Don, it's actually his house too, right? And I'd say most of the things we have, we're pretty good about. Like we like very well, or as he told me recently, I was like, oh, do you like this piece of art? Do you like this painting that I was about to buy? I do a lot of my art purchases on Etsy and eBay. And what's that other one? Oh,
Everything But the House?
Everything But the House, EBTH, which I think is a good one because not that many people know about it until now, although it's expensive for the shipping, right?
They have a lot of Instagram followers. I'd say a lot of people know about it.
Well, I think not as many as know about Etsy and eBay, right?
Oh yeah, fair, yeah.
So I buy a lot of stuff from them, and I thought that Don and I were very in sync in my taste. And recently I was like, do you like this painting? And thinking of buying. He's like, listen, the paintings are yours. That's your thing. That's your hobby. And I was like, my hobby? But it also made me kind of go, oh, that's how he views it. So he thinks I'm taking over all the spaces in the house. Therefore, he is then entitled to, I mean, it struck me as he is entitled to other spaces in the house. But like, for example, this room that we're currently sitting in, which started out as a shared office, has since...
Did it? I thought it was always Don's studio space, like Don's office space.
I said, this should be your office, your studio space. Don said, absolutely not. This is a shared space. This is a spared... We should both have our office when you work from home, etc., etc. And he put a desk in here, which, if you look around, is no longer here, right? The desk over time was removed. Don's stuff filled up the room. Next thing you know, there were guitars all over the wall and Star Wars guns, replica guns created by Don up on the top shelf. So anyway, I was wondering how you and your new house were dealing with this conundrum, because I know there were a couple of things maybe in the other house, in Brandon's own, like, because the other house belonged just to Brandon. So it was entirely decorated by him. And in this new house, it has the female touch, your female touch. Does it feel more feminine? What does that even mean?
So, well, when I moved in with Brandon, I did come with, I think, like $1,000 that we'd just blown in IKEA. Do you know what I mean? That like you and I went to IKEA, we're like, we'll get these cushions and we'll get this and we'll get that. And it was so funny because when I first moved in, I remember Brandon being like, why do we need so many, well, he didn't call them cushions, he called them throw pillows. Why do we need so many throw pillows? Why do we need so many blankets?
Bless.
Yeah, and now he loves them. And you'll see him now like piling cushions in under his back and then lying down the couch. I'm like, this luxurious living you weren't used to before. That's the feminine touch, is like making it comfortable. Whereas he's, you know what, he's obsessed with, but like, is it practical? And I'm like, things can be beautiful and practical. Whereas he's just like, is it comfy? Like, why don't we buy that vomit coloured recliner? It looks really comfortable because it's vomit coloured. Like, no way. You know what I mean?
So that's the compromise. Practicality with cuteness.
Yeah, but then that feels so gendered. But like, I think it's actually that he just doesn't think fully intelligently about things, because I'm thinking about practicality and cuteness and he's only thinking about practicality. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
I'm like, you also have to live in and look at this space.
I didn't mean it like that.
I know. But like, I've been thinking about, like, sometimes I go, oh, he's so practical and I'm so like visual. And then I'm like, actually, I'm not. I'm just sensible because I want things that are beautiful and functional. Whereas he just doesn't care about the beauty, but like he has eyes and he's going to have to look at things. So I don't know why he doesn't care.
Sometimes I do think, though, like I have a plethora of throw pillows myself. And sometimes I do think like, well, the other day I piled them all up into a black garbage bag, not so that I could put them in the bin, but so I could put them down in the basement, because all the kids do is throw them on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So I took them all off and then I was like, wow, the house looks so pristine.
Oh, minimal.
Kind of, yeah, minimalist-ish. I mean, ish, like,
yeah,
right,
no,
you know, I mean, it's a relative term. So, I mean, and I think that Don would like not miss a throw pillow on any day. I mean, he did actually complain the other day. And I mean, I don't even have a proper American bed where they have, you know, they have their...
Oh, yeah. They have their king pillows and their regular pillows and their 2 throw pillows.
Yes, all lined up. And I mean, this is a really normal thing, because I had a conversation about like, I said something about these pillowcases are really uncomfortable because I'm an idiot, right? I'm Irish. And they were all like, you don't sleep on those pillows. Those pillows are for show.
Oh, yeah. The ones that come with the quilts.
Yeah.
Yeah, shams.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean you don't sleep in them? What are they for? And they were like, I put them on the chair beside my bed every night. And I was like, and then you put them back the next day? Like, I'd watch my job. I've enough to be doing without.
But also, I rarely make my bed.
But like, who are they for? Who's admiring them? If you don't sit on them ever,
You're walking into your room and you're going, I'm so chic and grown up.
But like, what's the point of them? Somebody needs to tell me what's the point of them. Please, anybody. Because nobody could tell me what the point of them was. They just were like accepting this is what a bed is.
Well, I think it's the same point as like, what's the point of a beautiful painting on the wall? Like, it's nice to look at. I think people just like to look at this pristine bedscape. Do you know what I mean? It's just a visual thing.
Yeah, I could see what you mean. I just think it's more that like I don't have to make a painting on the wall. The painting on the wall, like these things, that's not practical, right?
You don't have to pick the painting up every morning and put it back on the wall and take it down off the wall.
Exactly. So like when you talk about being practical, they're highly impractical to me. So actually, yes, I'm very practical. I'm like, I don't need anything else that is any more tidying or sorting. I want stuff that just goes there and stays there.
I mean, but like throw pillows and blankets, no matter where you put them, they involve tidying and sorting. But at least they're comfy, and you sit down to watch TV and you're like, I'll put a blanket on my lap. You know what I mean?
Actually, now that I'm sitting here with 2 throw pillows and a blanket underneath me, but I am thinking after this, maybe I'm going to go around and do the rounds and put them all away. I want my children just to live in like Spartan boxes, because there's so much crap that they're messing up all the time.
You need to get your children like the Von Trapps.
Wearing lederhosen.
No, lining up in the morning to say good morning, lining up as you go to work, lining up when you come home from work. God, that'd be hilarious.
Well, anyway, so back to the compromise. So how do you compromise? How do you decide like who gets to own what space, or who gets... So for example, we see you inherited a lot of the stuff. All those sludge coloured sofas are now masqueraded by your blankets.
Yeah, they're totally... Well, not totally. They're too big to be camouflaged entirely by the blankets. But yeah, we do have... I don't think I like a single sofa in our house. Well, no, I do like the one sofa that I have in our bedroom that I bought at Facebook Marketplace.
But it's not very comfortable.
No.
It's not as comfortable. But
no, it's true.
But in fairness, you have 4 comfy sofas. You don't need another one.
So many comfy sofas.
So our sofas are all very... Well, no, that one down the end, but we inherited that from the house, which I love, but it's not as comfortable. It's very low backed.
Oh, the blue one?
Low to the floor, yeah.
Our mid-century one is very low backed as well. I mean, I'd like to get actually... Like, because our sofas are really comfy. I just hate the colours of them, so I'd love to get them reupholstered. But then I'm like, for the price that it'll cost me to get these cheap sofas reupholstered, we just buy new.
No. Sustainability, Rosemary.
Oh, I know.
Sustainability of the environment.
Like, how do you compromise? It is really hard, right? Because so for example, when I moved in with Brandon, in his front room, he had, I never counted them, but there must have been at least 18 prints by this artist that he loves, whose name I can't remember, but he does these very, like, I quite like some of them, and then I just don't love them all together. But
I think what you're saying is you can admire, you can accept, you can appreciate their artistic integrity, but you don't necessarily want them on your wall.
I wouldn't mind some of them on my wall. I also hated the frames. So there was a problem with like Brandon bought the frames in Hobby Lobby because they were cheap, and then he got like coloured paper to put as the mounts basically. So they each had a difference. There was like pink and purple and blue. You know what I mean? It was all just very ill thought out, I thought. So I'd like to get some of them reframed quite nicely, and like, because they don't need any more colour, because they are these really colourful graphic, like some of them are like a dinosaur with the head of a cow and like a horse with the head of a cat, and they sound weird, and they are kind of weird, but they're also quite interesting. So we have been talking now since we moved into our new house that I think we're going to put 3 of them each in the boys' rooms, and we asked them which ones they liked and which ones they'd like in their rooms, and they were like, much to Brandon's horror, poo-pooing a lot of them, but then they did choose some that they liked and that we're going to put in their rooms, and we're going to get, so they're going to get the Hobby Lobby ones for the moment because I'm not spending a fortune on reframing, but we are going to get some of them reframed and put them downstairs as well.
Okay, so you're a very good compromiser, right? Obviously. And I'm thinking now, there are a couple of my things that Don absolutely hates, right? For example, he absolutely hates, when I was in Turkey with Julie, we had a great trip to one of the local markets, and we bought these kind of metal fabric puppets, which are amazing, right?
Metal fabric puppets?
Yeah, they're hanging out in the hall. You recognise them?
Oh, they're creepy.
Well, Dawn thinks they're incredibly creepy, right? And disgusting. And I absolutely love them. They're brilliant.
They remind me of like the opening credits to like a horror TV series where there are just creepy puppets. Yeah, they're creepy.
But you know what? Now I'm putting 2 and 2 together, because you know what Dawn's ultimate nightmare, like Dawn loves horror movies. Do you know what his ultimate nightmare movie is?
Punch and Judy.
The Dark Crystal. He still can't watch that.
You know what? I was talking to a woman yesterday when we were at so I was at this thing for Artlink, and she's also on the board, and she was telling me she used to date a guy who used to work as a model maker, and he had one of the heads of the Skeksis in his hall up on the wall, and she said her brother came over to the house one day and nearly had a heart attack because he's so terrified of the Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. He was like, why do you have that on your wall?
Well, I actually love the Dark Crystal. I'd love to be a model maker. That was one of the careers I actually thought would be amazing.
Did you watch the making of the Dark Crystal on Netflix? It was so interesting. The making of the series.
I did not, but I will.
It was really, really good.
Anyway, so those puppets. But rather, like, I think here's the difference. You're saying to Brandon, okay, don't love the frames, don't love that. Here, what's the compromise? Don hates these puppets, has none of these conversations for me. One day I go, where are those puppets, right? I kind of don't think that much of it. I just go, wasn't there a puppet hanging here? I think no more of it.
Were they in a plastic bag with a cereal
about
bowl
6
and
months?
press?
Well, about 6 months later, yeah, I find them in a bag in the kids' drawers, like totally hidden. And then when I go, what's this doing in here? He has the audacity to go, don't know.
Those puppets are your teddy bear jeans. Don was doing to you what I did to
Yes,
him when
you're
I hid his teddy bear
right.
jeans.
Yes, ignoring the actual issue and just hiding them, thinking he was doing me a favour. He was doing himself a favour.
He also wasn't, because the thing is, right, if he was truly brave, he would have put them in the bin and hoped upon hope that you would never ever, that you wouldn't see them before the bins were collected, basically. And that then you'd just be like, I don't know where they ever go. You'd spend the rest of your life like Mom and that City West restaurant voucher. Where did that go? God. I've no idea. Like, I'm sure they'll turn up someday. They would never have turned up. You would never have thought that Don would have put them in the bin.
I would absolutely have suspected Don. I absolutely would have been convinced until my dying last gasp of a breath that when I would hold it against him, over years my grudge would grow increasingly powerful and nasty.
I'm imagining your grudge taking form and turning into one of those puppets and manifesting.
Dead right. I probably would have just made one just out of sheer badness. I would have remade one and hung it there, like just have it materialize in his sleep. So anyway, the other thing, I think I'm very patient, because I remember when we lived in New York, at one point Don was like super into Lego. I mean, he loves Lego, right? He's super into Lego. And his whole thing was like, when he was growing up, he only ever had like one pathetic Lego set, as did we, the airport. But for some reason, this then to him as an adult meant like he should really indulge this kind of...
I think Brandon has similar thoughts to
this. This sort of like sense of injustice, or like miscarriage of justice, that he just never got to express his Lego ability.
Brandon thinks we're saving up to buy him the $800 Millennium Falcon. Let me tell you, we are not.
That's adorable. Well, he can keep thinking that. And so anyway, Don bought, what's that one?
The Death Star?
Yeah, the Death Star, and then a couple of other things. And then at one point, all these shelves arrived from Amazon, and Don's like, I said, what are they for? He goes, I was thinking we could put staggered shelves. They got all staggered and kind of like stair stepping and all this kind of stuff for my Legos. against that full wall. We did a full wall of Lego. And I was like, I mean, it kind of could be cool, but you know, like what would really happen? And maybe, so now I'm actually boringly practical is what the conclusion I'm coming to in this entire conversation. You know what happened? Like 3 months later, I'd be like, that Lego's real dusty. Be driving me nuts. It would get so dusty and it would just look crap. Because I mean, there's sort of this like, wow, that looks amazing and pristine in the Lego museum. But like then when you look at it every day, you're just like bored of it.
Well, the only way to do it would be if he was going to craggle them all together. So he was going to glue them all together, a la the Lego movie. And then you could probably spray them down.
But like
a bit.
I'd watch my job again, right? Yeah. Like, do I really need a wall full of Lego to be air spraying, whatever it is, like air misting?
You know, that reminds me, a friend of mine's husband had an entire bedroom in their house dedicated to his Lego, and he had like all the little Lego, oh my God, I can't remember what the Star Wars soldiers are called. What's wrong with my brain?
Stormtroopers.
Yes.
That is the Lego movie though, isn't it? That is the Lego movie where like the kid's not allowed to play with the dad's Lego sets.
Oh, well, like this was way before they had kids, but he had the whole room and he had all the stormtroopers like lined up in formation and had the ships and then more stormtroopers. And then he had like, but everything was everything looked like it had been assembled by a robot. I must actually ask her now because now they have 2 kids. So I'm like, surely that room is gone, but it could still be there.
Don't call me Shirley. That's interesting though. I bet you like it is interesting because I think the whole like purpose of Lego is to be broken up and rebuilt and like is to use your imagination, and yet people there's also the other part of it where like it's like a Barbie house, you know, where you just want to play with, but do they play with it or they just pose it?
I think he just posed it. I don't know, but like I always remember I was always really frustrated with our Lego because I could never make the airplane. And I remember seeing you make it a couple of times, and then I would try and make it, and I could never make it.
I'm pretty sure there were a couple of pieces missing as well. So I'm pretty sure mine was.
And I think as time went on, there were more and more pieces missing. But like all I wanted was to assemble it as per the instructions, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
And that frustrated me.
Oh, poor Rosie.
I know, it was so sad. But I'm trying to think now, like, I remember when we were looking for a house, actually, Brandon was like, I'd love to get a house in the basement because then I could put my prints down there. And like, I tell you, that was a very enticing idea to me. It was like, great, put all your prints down there. Put your like half-built Lego Death Star down there. Put your horrible computer desk with the huge, massive, imposing screens down there. You can just stay down in the basement like the troll.
Okay, so basically your idea of how to decorate together is everything goes in one hidden room.
He goes in exile.
Visits. Yes, sounds like it. And then the rest of the house is yours. Good plan.
No, but now we are having to compromise because we don't have that space.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Do you have a garden? He could go out in the garden. He could build a shed.
The prince could all go out in the garden.
Yeah.
He could build a men's shed for him in the neighbourhood men. There are some things that I own that he hates.
Like what?
He hates my Tiger Lady rug.
What?
Yeah,
my Joanne Hynes.
My Joanne Hynes, where it's like, is it the body of a tiger in the face of a lady, or the yes,
the
body
but
of a tiger
that's
in the face
glorious. And you know what's great about that rug is that it brings together every colour in the room so successfully.
I really like it. He finds it really creepy, and then I have a matching Tiger Lady pillow that he just keeps complaining about it not being comfortable, and I'm like, it's fucking beaded. It's not for you to put your head on.
Okay, so now you are impractical. I get it.
Yeah, but I'm also, that's just like, I don't have very many impractical. I have 2 impractical cushions basically.
But that like, is it beaded on both sides? Could you not just turn it around and then over? Yeah, and then also not look at the lady head? And
also, he never sits on that couch. So
does he hate women? Is this what we're getting at? He just hates these motifs that have women in them. That's what you say to him next time.
He could. And then the other thing he hates is I bought a deer head, like made out of raffia, I think, or made out of
rattan.
Rattan, yeah. Why
does he hate that?
On Target. He thinks it's creepy as well. I think it's because of the big empty eyes. You know what I mean? It has big holes where the eyes should be.
Maybe you should buy 2 gobstoppers, stick them in, see if he prefers that.
Maybe I'll just ball up some of his socks and lob them in and see what it looks like. Be cheaper.
So the other thing that I was thinking, I just showed it to you there out in the hall, is I came home the other day and my beautiful top of pianoscape, which had candles and beautiful wooden dice and dye and all this kind of stuff on the top of it had been, actually I came in and I found all these things in a pile over on the other table in the hall.
And I went, they weren't in a plastic bag in the boys' drawers.
Well, exactly. And I was like, what's going on here? And then I slowly, reluctantly moved my eyes, scanned over to the top of the piano and saw what can only be called Hobbit Fest on top of the piano, right? The entire village of like, I don't know, Mordor.
Hobbiton.
Yeah, Hobbiton, exactly. All over the top of the piano. And Don looking delighted with himself, unboxing box after box of this. It's amazing. It's modular. It's amazing modular Hobbit homes. And it actually is by a model maker, some model maker that he funded on Kickstarter, allegedly 3 years ago. I never expected to receive this stuff. I mean, again, I'm like, really? bit skeptical of
That's
this whole
actually
story.
a very good. I'm going to start doing that when things arrive in the house.
Well,
Oh, this is a Kickstarter I funded 5 years ago.
yeah, and I go, why'd you order the same thing twice? Oh, I don't know. I think they must have sent that to me accidentally. So he literally has like double the set. And then, so I said, why don't you put some of them on top of the piano? Because I was trying to be, like it's his house too, allegedly. So I go, why don't you put some of them on top of the piano? I didn't mean take every single thing off the piano and take over the entire, like turn the piano into, I don't even know what. Like, can I go over there and play the piano now? Well, can I play the piano? Not really. But can I go over there now and play the piano?
Excuse me, you can play, can't you play Another Suitcase from Another Hall?
No.
You can only sing that. Oh no.
You can only sing that.
What's your piano party piece?
I don't have one.
What can you play on the piano?
Nothing really.
I can play Coldplay in my place and I can play James Blunt.
I bought the
Goodbye,
piano.
My Lover.
Goodbye, my lover. I bought
It's
the
very
piano.
sad. I always cry when I start singing it as well.
Are you joking?
Did I disappoint you or let you down? No, it's very sad. Oh, stop.
Are you joking?
I'm very emotional today. No.
Do you actually cry at that?
Yes.
Oh my God. It's a vision now. Rosemary's at the piano serenading herself, crying. That's
crying.
really,
I
that's
know,
very
thank God I don't
artistic
have a
of you.
piano in my house. I'll be bawling non-stop.
That's amazing.
Especially because those are the only 2 songs I can play. Sorry. And Vanessa Carlton.
Carlton.
Vanessa Carlton.
Vanessa Carlton. Oh, well, I stupidly bought some Nora Jones and Nora Jones music. I mean, I'm telling you, she's a pretty good pianist, is all I have to say. Because I was like, I can't play any of this. I mean, very slowly.
Sorry, you know what I ambitiously bought myself one day?
What?
The piano music for Queen's Greatest Hits.
Well, I also bought the piano music for the piano. So, I mean, I just need, you know what, Rosemary? It's all practice. It's all practice.
Honestly, you could be practicing until you died.
Oh, Rosemary, I was reading, like, it's 10% talent, 90% practice. So, I don't actually believe that at all. Natural instinct. Anyway, on that note.
On what note?
On that note. We should actually get you to
the
play.
note of the piano.
We should actually get you to play Goodbye, My Lover.
Oh my God,
Sob
no, I can't.
into the microphone.
I actually do need the sheet music though, so I was lying when I said I could play it. I can play it with the sheet music.
Oh, that's nice though. He probably can only play it with the sheet music.
Do you follow James? Oh no, you're not on Twitter. He's very funny on Twitter.
Is he?
Yeah. Oh my God, he's very funny on Twitter.
Oh.
I would
No, I
read
wouldn't-
out some of his tweets, but I can't access Twitter in your house.
I wouldn't have accused him of that. Wasn't he in the military? Wasn't he in like the army for years? And then he became like a floppy fringed lover boy musician. Yeah. And then did he marry that one, the model? And they broke up, right? And then she went off and was like a humanitarian.
Oh, you follow a lot of celebrity gossip that I wouldn't.
Rosemary, this was back in the 90s. I was all over it. I was at home. It was in the 90s. Okay, look
sorry.
it up. It was
I
in
will
the 90s.
absolutely look it up. In the 90s.
In the 90s.
It was not, because it was when I was
James
dating
Blunt.
the fireman.
In the 90s. No, it'd probably been out about 5 years. That's when you heard
No,
about it.
because
You weren't the
That's rude.
You weren't the quickest on the uptake there. You're a late adopter, as they say. 1990.
2004, Beatrice.
That's basically
his
the 90s.
debut album
That's
was released
basically
in
the 90s.
October of 2004. That's 5 years after the 90s.
That's basically the 90s. He was still a harbinger of the 90s.
You know what? I'm looking at him now. I probably would.
What?
Yeah, I think he's kind of hot.
Show me right now.
Looks a bit like Josh Brolin there, doesn't he?
Yeah, just like him, and he also looks a bit like Chris Martin.
Yeah, and I'd fancy all of them.
Okay, good to know.
You know, I love I love a vanilla milkshake.
Rosemary, my love, you're married. You can't look at men anymore or comment on them.
I can.
Actually, you never should be commenting on them. It's a double standard. Yeah, here we go.
I can, because I live in America. This is my starter marriage.
It's not Brandon's starter marriage. Does he know that?
This is Brandon's finisher marriage. I'm going to finish him, but then I'm going to start again. But I'm trying to think, like, do you think... See, I don't think he cares that much. I was trying to... Because I do worry sometimes that I'm being a bit mean, or that I'm like, oh, like I really should... Like, this is the wrong word, but I really should let Brandon have more say.
No.
Like, but I don't let
No,
him or
you
not let him.
shouldn't.
But like, I'm like, does he ever think about that?
Rosemary,
I don't think he
every
cares.
piece of furniture in your house is Brandon's say. Because most of it came from him. So he has
Oh my God.
He has 80% of the say in that house right now. So you got to
True.
whittle it down to 50%. Then you can worry about being
Then
mean.
I can whittle it down to 30, and then I can
that's
worry
when
about being
that's
mean.
when you're being mean.
But the other thing that I have to say is, now, this is going to sound very callous of me. He has a lot of stuff in that house that, like, I would love to get rid of. But he has an excellent excuse, because every time I go, do we really need to keep this? He's like, that was my grandmother's.
Oh yeah.
His grandmother who died 3 years ago. And like just before we met. And when, like, the first couple of things, I was like, oh, like, of course. And then when it got to about 5 or 6 things, I was like,
He has a lot of
hang on.
things.
He has a lot of things from his grandmother. And like, also I feel like he has an unfair distribution of things from his grandmother, which implies to me that the rest of his siblings didn't want it.
Well, that's what I was about to say, maybe you should guilt him into giving some of it to his siblings. The other thing you could do is sit him down in front of Marie Kondo, because that actually absolutely brainwashed you into becoming a major purger.
Yeah, but not the show, just the book, and I don't think you'd read it.
Well, make him watch the show.
No, but I'm saying the show didn't make me want to be a major purger, just made me like...
What about that house edit show?
That doesn't make you want to be a purger at all. That makes you want to be a collector, but that makes you want to collect everything in Perspex boxes.
Hold on, what are we going to do? You don't have the bigger problem. I have the bigger problem. I'm the one with Hobbiton on top of the piano.
You do have the bigger... You also have a lot more stuff, but that's because your house is bigger as well.
Well, I mean, also, could we not have so much stuff? Let's purge some stuff. How do we get Don into purging? He keeps promising that he's not going to buy another guitar before he gets rid of another guitar, and yet guitars keep showing up.
But like maybe we start with looking in the mirror. Could you purge some things?
I purged 2 full bags of clothes and I think he threw one of them in the bin. I put two big bags of clothes in ready for good willies and I'm pretty sure he threw them in the bin. I have one in the boot of the car now, saving it. Maybe
he put one in the kid's drawer.
I did make him give away some of his clothes at that point. I was like, that shirt you last wore in like 2001.
What about books? You could probably go through your books and get rid of some books.
Books?
This is Philip McCabe all over again. I remember I was in Mum and Dad's and Mum was like, we really need to declutter. And what she actually means is your father needs to get rid of some stuff, right? So when you start suggesting that she declutter her stuff, you and Mum are a lot alike. She starts going, excuse me, you mind your own business. So because I was there one day and I was like, what about these Dick Clancy books that like nobody's going to read again?
Yeah.
I would get rid of it. I've never heard that. I would not get rid of it.
But I mean, I keep thinking I should get rid of books. And when I pull them out, then I don't remember having read them. So I'm like, I could read them again. No, I'm only joking. I do have some books for you, though. I do have some books for you, though. Well, look at that shelf there now. What could you get rid of? They're all done, so nothing.
You could probably get rid of the Missoni family cookbook. Have you ever cooked?
I just got that as a Christmas present.
It's nice, though.
Yes, it's very nice and very trendy. And I haven't, but I've coveted some of it.
You know what you could do, a la Dawn? You could take... Like once a week, I hope it doesn't listen this far now. Once a week, you could take one book from the shelf and just hide it in a drawer somewhere. And then after a year, if he hasn't noticed, throw them out.
It's only 52 books in fairness, but yes, it might take me a while.
That's more than nothing. Little Fires Everywhere, you're never going to read that again.
Why not? I've never read it yet.
Oh, have you not?
No, you gave it to me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Was it any good? Should I read it?
Grand.
Just give it away then.
No, read it, but then like give it away
should
afterwards.
I read it? Is it going to enrich my life?
No, but it's entertaining. Not everything has to enrich your life. You're such a bore now. It's going to enrich my life. Is it Margaret Heffernan? If not, I don't want to read it.
I still have a Margaret Heffernan book I haven't read.
What else? Okay, there's a book there called John Dies at the End.
That's Don's. Oh wait,
that seems predictable. You can throw that out. The Big Short. Seen the movie.
Do you know what? I've got 4 shelves of kids' books. I'll just get rid of whatever they're too old for
and give them to me.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Because I was actually thinking yesterday, I was like, all I have now is endless onesies for this baby. I've no clothes, I've no I've no books, I've no toys, I've nothing.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Nothing else.
I'm going to give you loads of stuff. All right, Grant.
Great.
Okay, so what have we learned? I have too much stuff and I need to do some purging.
What have we learned? My problem. We clearly don't really care about compromising with our partners. We wish they would just let us take over the decor 100%.
Yeah, or I wish Don would just put all of his stuff in his own room.
This being his own room now, it was not meant to be his own room, but you resigned yourself to the fact that it is his own room now.
He also has the basement. He can have the office and the basement.
He doesn't really have the basement.
The basement, the actual...
That's your office, isn't it?
No, I mean like the basement.
Oh, like the basement storage area that isn't like...
He put shelves up in there and everything to display his stuff, yeah. He can have that. I'll let him keep it.
It's kind of like a musty cellar.
He loves it. It's a man cave. I'll put a chair down there for him and a cigar.
You know what? There's so many houses we looked at when we were looking at houses that had man cave signs in their basements.
Why don't women have women caves?
Because that's the kitchen, Beatrice. Kitchen is the woman cave.
But like, what about a woman cave? Like, I would love to have a big comfy sofa, a wine fridge, right? A cocktail shaker, a TV, a sign that says no kids,
a kettle.
Call it my woman. Oh, a kettle, yeah, and call it my woman.
And probably
cave.
A little toilet cubicle.
No, I mean,
suppose you could go to the toilet undisturbed. That's the problem because once you come out of your woman cave,
amazing. Okay, what else is in the woman cave? Really nice plush rug, loads of throw pillows,
throw pillows and blankets.
A massage table and a masseuse who'd come in just whenever I want.
Okay, now you're getting carried away. A massage chair, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
A massage chair.
Oh, some aromatherapy scents.
Did I already say
wafting around the room. You said a kettle.
Oh. Yeah, loads of candles.
Yeah, candles.
Maybe a nice oil diffuser.
Oh God, this is great.
Things other people don't understand, like things men don't understand.
This would be absolute some lovely. Do I want art or do I just want like a calming colour on the wall?
I think you could do with a little bit of art. I think it'd be nice if you looked around the room and thought, I'm so stylish.
I'd love some really soft slippers as well.
Oh, and also some biscuits, like nice European biscuits.
Oh no, I don't want any biscuits. Thanks.
Oh no, I found some nice European biscuits in Kroger. I'd like them.
No thanks. I'd like an endless stash of roasted peanuts, dry roasted peanuts and salted peanuts. Be amazing.
I would like an endless stash of Gruyere. Always taken out of the fridge 30 minutes before I decide to eat it.
Oh, I'd love ready-made tuna and tapenade sandwiches just ready to be taken out of the fridge.
No, ready-made tuna and tapenade
Ready-made
sandwiches.
by my chef who's hanging out with the masseuse.
No. So basically what you're saying
on
is you
call.
want a chef who will,
Yes.
when you press a button,
Yes.
make you.
This is no longer a woman cave. It is a woman apartment.
This is no longer a woman cave. This is a 5-star hotel.
Yes, it sounds amazing.
Where basically nobody can come in without you
I'd
admitting
love
them.
a massive bath as well.
So sorry, basically what you're saying is you just want to go to a
Steam
5-star
shower.
hotel.
Yes, please
This
take
is it.
me.
This is like, I want
Take
room
me.
service, I want a massage, like a hotel and spa. I want room service, I want a massage.
Yes.
I want a kettle in my room.
Yeah.
I want a bathroom my kids can't get into. This
Yeah.
is all a hotel.
Yeah. I'd like to go. Can we go to a hotel, please?
I thought we were going to a
We are
hotel
going
in
to go
May,
to a
and now
hotel.
we're not. We're not.
We are. We're going
May's
to the next
nearly
one.
over.
Let's do it.
May's nearly over. We're
Let's
not
do
going
it.
to May.
Let's do it.
She's saying that now
Okay,
for
so
the benefit of the
that's the
podcast.
solution. Let everybody else have whatever they want in a hidden room in the basement, and then go and stay in a hotel.
Well, you wouldn't need everyone to be in the basement if you're in a hotel.
I do
Let
because
them
I
do
have,
whatever they want.
I have to come back from the hotel at some point.
Okay, you know what? That has to be ruined.
No.
Oh yeah, okay. So they can all stay in the basement. That's terrible, isn't it?
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for listening. Get us on Instagram at Rosemary McCabe with an A on my Mac, at Beatrice McCabe with an A on her Mac. Oh my God, I thought you were drawing a picture of me. You've been writing lists this
I'm
whole
writing
time.
a list of all the things you can put on
The notes.
the Instagram website after this. Yeah.
The Instagram website.
Yeah, the notes.
Our joint Instagram is at Not Without My Sister, and then our website's notwithoutmysis.com. You can email us notwithoutmysis@gmail.com. And thank you all so much for being here.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. Not Without My Sister is produced by Liam Garrity, sound and original music by Don Kirkland, and our original illustration is by Lindsay Nielsen.
Not Without My Sister is a member of The Warren, the home of great Irish podcasts. As is my podcast, Meet Your Maker. You'll find more great shows at thewarren.ie.